Hola.
Hola, party people.
Donkey. What's up?
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Here's
What's
our
up,
bombshell.
I feel like Pet Bundy, but just blonde.
Oh, I know your hair needs to be red for that.
Right?
For what?
Peg Bundy.
I said I feel like Peg Bundy, just blonde.
I never got into Married with Children.
Really?
Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, that show was great.
Sitcom guy,
Yeah.
actually.
All right, so we are here to start season 2.
Hunker down. It's going to be a long season.
It's going to be a long season.
God.
Because this one's very deep.
It's so good, but just God, it's
yes.
deep. It's going to be, there's a lot to cover.
Yeah. Hey,
Big Red. Speaking of Red, Big Red.
Woohoo.
What's up?
So,
Asylum.
I don't think I'm going to be able to keep this on the whole show, man. This is driving me crazy already.
Y'all itchy. We'll drive you. Bear's here.
Who?
Mother Supreme is here.
What's up, Miss Mary?
Hey,
you want to come stream?
You want to come stream with us, Bear?
Let us know. Let us know. We're talking Asylum.
We're talking Asylum if you want to join us.
You love the asylum because we all have lived in it.
Oh, crazy.
Let's see.
It's the first day kids skills I came to today, but I'm sure cool. Absolutely. You get any day.
Of course. Episode 2. Tomorrow's episode 2. Today is Welcome to Briarcliff.
Yes.
All right. So episode 1. Tim Einear wrote this episode. Bradley Brooker directed it. And is the pilot, or not the pilot, the premiere. Welcome to Briarcliff. So this episode starts with a theme that's going to continue a lot through most of the season, I believe.
Yeah.
With Leo and his wife. I forget her name.
Teresa.
Huh?
Teresa is her name.
Okay. Adam Levine and Jenna Dewan Tatum. That's all we need to know. They don't last long enough for it to matter.
So they're
actually there through the entire season.
Yeah, it's through the whole season.
Well, but you know what I mean. Time period wise, they don't last.
Yeah. So what they're there to do is basically, in a storytelling sense, these two are a newlywed couple who are touring America of the most haunted places so that they can fuck.
They're on their honeymoon.
They're on their honeymoon.
Yeah, they're on their honeymoon to tour these places. So it's a fetish thing that they're going through, and they act all brave and everything until something happens and they ain't so brave anymore. But as a storytelling device, what they're doing, what the writers are doing is they're establishing Briarcliff. They're establishing Briarcliff as a character. They're establishing it as the different rooms and segues into the different storylines. I think is a missed opportunity because they only do it. What's up, buddy? They only do it
he heard you guys.
2 or 3 times where they actually segue right into the room where they flash back and they segue in the room. If I thought they should have carried that all the way through. I mean, if like right when Leo and Teresa get there, when they first go into that opening, that could have been
but the whole point was to confuse us because of the way they go back and forth throughout the whole season with things, and we don't even see how things connect until later. So that was the point. I mean, it was frustrating at times, but
in the beginning, this is all present day, and being that this season took place in 2012.
Wow.
All the scenes with Leo and Teresa, they're all present day, and then we go back to the flashbacks.
Yeah, to 64. 64 it kind of starts.
64, yeah.
Remember, this is a season about mental illness. It's a season about crazy. It's a season about chaos. So
it's about an asylum. Plain and simple.
Going on is going to be a theme to the whole thing. They're trying to make you just as crazy as what's going on, or just as exactly. I wouldn't say crazy. I would say questioning everything. That's how I spent the first time that I watched this season.
Yeah.
Not taking anything for face value.
I guess it kind of does make you crazy though, because it kind of makes you paranoid. It makes you question things, makes you unsure of things. Like it's meant to drive you crazy in a way.
And the way they film certain scenes, And we'll talk about them as they go along. But you'll see a flash of what that character is thinking, and then it flashes what reality is, and then you kind of don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So it was very well. This is one of the best written seasons. I mean, the season is crafted meticulously. All of the even side characters kind of segue into the main story, except for Anne Frank. We'll get there. But
we're not there yet.
They all have their purpose to drive the narrative forward, and this is the first experience that we get with this series of a grand scale. This epic grand. I mean, if this was a novel, you would say like Murder House would be like this little novel, whereas this one would be like a tome. I mean, this feels epic.
They put a lot of
definitely.
Mm-hmm. And the cinematography, the music, everything is just it's heavy. The whole season is really heavy.
But all the characters are very well thought out.
Oh yeah. They're
episode. So after we get through with Teresa and Leo, we move on to 1964.
We get the credits and then we're in 64. Yeah.
And can I just say, in my opinion, this season has the best credit sequence.
Yes. I was gonna say that, Dawn. You beat me to it, but yeah, I totally agree with you. It is, but you know what? It seems to be the most not creative, not ingenious. What is the word I'm looking for? Eye-catching, disturbing,
and,
sure.
And like the most memorable for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I'm biased.
We know how you feel, Michael, and we're gonna get
but yeah, this is just like everything else. This one is heavy. The credits are heavy. The credits are dark and intense, and
but that was the whole point.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
This whole season is dark and intense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get a feeling right from the credits. Yeah. We're in for a ride on this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
And then, I mean, but then this is also why this is most people's, not everybody, but a good portion of people's favorite season. Yeah. I mean, it touches on a lot of real subjects without making it seem real because you don't think it could happen to you. But it touches on, like we said, that mental health, all of that, so much of that, the isolation, a lot of things we're going to touch on that we're going through now personally ourselves, maybe not as intense as American Horror Story, but you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's even that's going to seem a little more real to people too, I think.
Well, this is interesting too, because remember, I always felt that American Horror Story has kind of gone on two tracks. You have the evens track and the odds track. So you have, all the even stories are like really heavy and really deep. You have season 2, season 4, season 6, and then you have the lighter seasons. So like the Asylum and Coven War kind of starts here with the Asylum, because those that Asylum is like their fan favorite, their favorite season, are kind of like Coven's like really low on the list. Whereas
that's
Coven,
where I'm at. That's me. Yeah. That's me for sure. I'm torn between Asylum and Coven because I love them both. But I don't know. I think Asylum definitely slightly beats it out.
Asylum is in my top 3 for sure.
Like Di's not here because she doesn't like Asylum. She won't watch Asylum.
Yeah, she won't.
But Coven is her favorite season. So it's interesting, that war. I mean, Coven is probably my least favorite season of all of them. So that'd be interesting to cover when we get there. I'm on
what yours is.
Yeah, I'm on the even track for sure. I like these deep.
Oh, I know. Me and Mike are going to be all over 4.
Yeah. See, for me, it's
before next. We just skip Coven.
For me, it's this season and Hotel.
Let's just skip Coven altogether. We'll just do the.
Let's just skip what?
Coven altogether.
I don't think Diana's going to let us do that.
No. Okay, so we did 1964. Here we are. Kit in the garage. Kit is working.
We're introduced to Kit, who is like, I think, one of Evan Peters' most loved characters. I know James Patrick March is like most people's favorite, but when it comes to lovable and actually good character, like good behavior wise, not acting, but so it definitely, I believe Kit now is everybody's favorite in that way.
One of the most fascinating things that I always watch for in movies and in TV, and it's just on a side note, if you guys ever get interested in this kind of thing, is the credits. Because credits are all based off of union contracts, actors union contracts, and negotiations they've done with their agent and everything. And this season, who has the billing role, the starring role, is Zach Quinto. Second billing is just fine. So Sarah and Evan didn't get till third and fourth billing. So it's really interesting to see their growth as A-list kind of stars to finally get up there. The Evan and Sarah carry this season, yet they're still third. They're still third and fourth in contractual. Stuff, whereas Zach Quinto is not even in every episode, and he's got the top billing role.
Because I'm sure he throws a fit and says, "I'm not doing it if I don't get so much," or he's a drama queen. He's an asshole.
You could never tell who is the star of the show. All you can tell from credits or from movie posters is who got paid the most, who got the biggest contract.
Yeah.
So after we meet Kit,
so we get to meet Kit, and he's closing up the gas station.
Mm-hmm. His friends come by, or his
friends. Supposedly
they come by and it's more acquaintances, I think. But they come by, they harass him, they threaten him with the gun, just joking around. But then the guy makes comments about his new maid, and he says, I love chocolate. And just, he knew what he was saying. He knew what he was talking about, because then we cut to the scene where we see Kit go home, looking around suspiciously as he goes home, like he's watching to see if anybody sees him. He goes inside, and we find out he has a African-American wife.
And so here's the first subplot or sub theme of the season, is we're going to deal with a lot of and
people need to remember, this is 1964. Yeah. So if they're like, why does that matter? This wasn't like now. This was 1964, where it was illegal in a lot of places to even get married.
That's the point. What we're going to see between not just interracial relationships, we're going to see homosexual relationships, relationships with multiple partners, different type of relationship stuff in the season. All of which in this time were highly illegal,
right?
And this is punishable by crimes. People could lose their jobs. People could go to jail. People could be fined. People could lose their apartments. They could lose their kids. I mean, all this stuff just based off of whom you were living with. And whom you were starting to think. So people who haven't gone through different civil rights movements and stuff in the past forget that this stuff was punishable by law. And, we talk about equal rights and blah blah blah. It's against the law.
Right.
And one of my first relationships was with a Navy guy back when Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and that was against his work policy and stuff. So living and hiding in that thing is no fun for any relationship. It's actually really incredibly wearing and taxing on it. Look what happens. We'll talk about it. Look what happens to Sarah Paulson's character, Joanna. It's this shit really happened.
Which we'll be talking about her in just a second, but because we haven't got to her yet. But
so then anyway, Kit goes home to his wife. They were going to have dinner. They have sex. And then she says, I'm going to go make you something to eat. She gets up. He starts to see lights and hears noises and gets his shotgun and goes outside because he thinks it's these guys, Billy and the gang, that were messing with him and saying stuff at the gas station. So, and that's when he goes outside. All of a sudden, there's the light from above him. It's, we don't know exactly what it is, but to us, it looks like a UFO, an alien type of thing. And then he hears Alma screaming, Kit, help me, help me. And he runs back inside. And Dawn, you take it from there. He runs back inside.
And basically, all he hears is Alma screaming, help me. And he's looking for her, but she's nowhere to be found. And then he gets basically taken up to the ceiling. Actually, he gets taken up to the ceiling and then dropped to the floor.
Yeah, like sucked up real quick and then dropped.
And then we see the glimpse of the hand. Just that one.
And all we see is, and that's all we see. And then it cuts to where Sarah Paulson's character is driving up to the asylum.
So let me back up real quick. I just want to mention, then obviously we have this alien thing, and then he's going to be talking about it later again, he mentions the alien thing, and obviously he tells the police that. But this is also based on Betty and Barney Hill, who were one of the first publicized interracial couples who had an alien abduction and an alien sighting.
Yeah.
And it was very similar to this, but obviously Ryan Murphy put his spin on it. But yeah, so.
And when you guys were first watching this, what did you guys think? Oh well, shit! Here we go. We're doing aliens this season, or did you think there was?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I didn't. I mean, the first thing I was kind of like, okay, what the fuck's going on? But when they brought him in, and
I
we started,
thought what happened, the way it happened, is actually kind of how I thought it was going to happen. The fact that I figured, okay, this happened to him, and then we see the alien thing, so I'm like, okay, this is where Asylum plays in when they're taking him into jail, because I thought they're taking him to an asylum because they think he's crazy. But then that's when they say he's, the killer because she's missing or whatever. So that's what threw me for a loop. But before that, I was just under like asylum means, okay, he's crazy because he saw aliens. So this is the alien season is what I thought. And then all of a sudden you get the whole other story start to work its way in.
Yeah. When we got the other story, I was convinced there for a couple episodes that Kit was the killer, but because of his illness, he was the killer, and that's where the whole mental illness aspect was going to play into it. I thought the aliens was all bullshit, and then but then the only thing that kept me questioning was not the abduction, was them removing the crap from his head.
Yeah, see, I never thought he did it. I always just thought it was the alien thing.
I thought he did it because I was like, for some reason in my mind, I was like, it's too easy for him not to have done it. If he did it, we're in a much more complicated story.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Because we didn't know after only one season of what we had. Yeah, it was a little dark and deep, but not that much. It was cable television dark. Then we got Asylum, and we're like, holy crap. So we weren't expecting this.
No, didn't know what to think. Didn't know what to question at the time.
Right, exactly. At that point, we didn't have the previous history and experience to know this was coming.
This was definitely a wild ride when it aired, because we're just wow.
I remember like each night that episode would end, I'd be like, damn, you just felt weird.
Okay, let me point out, B said, just an observation, Evan sprawled out on a bed in his briefs smoking is a good look for him. You're damn straight. You're damn straight. I was trying to kind of skim over that, but I was going to be like, hey, and I was going to mention the Adam Levine thing at the beginning when they start taking their clothes off. You do see a little bit there, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, Evan's first shower scene. This season.
I know. Where he like totally, the behind the scenes stuff where he actually flashed.
Well, okay, let's get there. Because we're talking about, okay, now we cut to Lana going to Briarcliff.
Yeah.
And this is where she gets out of the car and she meets
Eunice and Pepper and Mary Eunice, which I love Mary Eunice. I
know, so do I.
Lily Rabe's range this season is incredible.
Yes. And I was just thinking that just when I was watching the first episode again, I was like, oh my God, because even we'll get to it, but even when she's talking with Lana, when she lets her back in, and the guy throws the poop, she's like, I'm sorry, Miss Winter. She's like, please stay here and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And it's like, you see that, and then you see what you see in a few episodes. So yeah, you're right. And just her range as an actress, my God.
Even within the two sides of her, you get range. You get like, just the cordial little, I'm here to help, and I'm the little tour guide, and I'm the nurse, to this meek, codependent, real, like when she pleads with Jessica Lange later with Jude, and she's like,
ring.
It's crazy. Who's that? Hello,
Avon calling.
My phone. Sorry, guys.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
What's up, Debbie? So Mary Eunice,
that's why we start late, Debbie. For people like you, it's okay. It's not really us. Right. Shh.
And then we get Pepper. It's our first view of Pepper.
And I love
we get
Pepper.
The story that's going to be flushed out later seasons.
Yes. Hey, wait a second.
Oh, hold on. Are we doing a costume change?
No, she's showing the Pepper doll. So excited like too. Yeah, she's we get the story of Pepper. They tell it right away. She drowned the baby, cut off its ears, which we know is true. And
No, we don't know is true.
well, we know now.
At the time.
We know now. Yeah,
Oh, this is just what we're being told, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
She's
And then
oh no, she's not innocent. She chopped her nephew's ears off.
well,
She drowned her nephew
As
and
we
chopped his
learn-
ears off.
Yeah.
as we learn who Pepper is by the time season 4 is done, it's interesting that where our first impression that the writers want us to believe is that she is a monster.
Yeah.
And that's just like these asylums and stuff back in the day. It's like what was happening with Kit. It's like you get a narrative where somebody tells you that this person is this characteristic, has done these things. That's what you're led to believe. That's your instinct to go off of. And it's really sad because we all know Pepper's story now and how tragic her story is, and she's anything but just far from a monster. But we're led to believe right away. Watch out, she's dangerous. She's a monster.
Right.
She killed a baby. Holy shit.
And this is all in the first 15 minutes of
15 minutes?
Yeah.
We're not even 20 minutes
We're
in.
not even 20 minutes in.
Yeah, this by the time you come with the first episode, you feel like you've been with this season for a while.
Yeah, because Lana hasn't even gotten in the door yet.
No. So she does get in the door.
She finally gets
in the door on the pretense of what this asylum has. And those of you that don't know about nunneries or asylums or churches and stuff back in the day, they would do. They still do, I guess. These community type jobs. They find something that kind of the community needs, and they can contribute to the community, whether that be through a newsletter or a bakery or something, daycare. Who knows? And this particular Briarcliff, particularly, has a bakery. It was supposedly Jude is
where they sold goods to the community and such.
They sell baked goods, and the community loves it, and the community is just supported on it. And so it does twofold. Number one, it shows good faith to the community for the community tolerating a mental institution of such size in their community, and it also because a lot of neighborhoods don't, and it also provides them something for the inmates to do, something skill job. So Lana goes there.
That's her excuse in the door that she wants to do a story on the bakery.
That's the pretense. She wants to discuss how this bakery is improving the lives of Briarcliff and the community and blah, blah, blah. So she gets in there. She gets in Jude's office, or we meet Jude. This is our first time we meet Jude. God bless her. Here comes Jude. And right away, we know all what we know to believe of Jude is no nonsense. That's right from the go. She's a disciplinarian. How do we know this? We walk in the door. She's shaving Shelly's head. She's shaving head. Like, what the fuck's going on here? And then we learn that Shelly, through her mental illness of debauchery and her lust and need for sex and masturbation.
She's a nymphomaniac. We find out she's diagnosed nymphomaniac.
Yes. And so Jude is trying to, in an old school kind of fashion way, deprave her from her femininity, from her, that the hair, the makeup, the clothes, whatever. So they're taking all that away from her. And so we meet Jude and we're like, okay, well, here we go.
The vagina alien. Oh my God, I love Debbie.
And so Lana gets to sit down and talk to Jude. We find out Jude and Eunice's relationship here as well. We get a little hint of this, that Eunice is obviously controlled by Jude, but Eunice looks up to Jude. And so you can see that dynamic. And then Lana starts to talk the pretense of the whole bakery and blah, 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 blah. And then she brings up Bloody Face. And here we are, kind of back to what we were just learning from Leo and Teresa. Wait, Bloody Face has got this connection, and here's the history that Adam Levine was trying to tell us in the beginning. What's going on? And she says, I want to see, you told us that Bloody Face was, or the news told us that Bloody Face was coming here today. I want to see him. We're like, oh shit, Bloody Face is coming. What's going on? And then Jude gets all mad. Oh, you lie. You're here under false pretense. Get out of my office, Lana Banana. Well, we hear Lana Banana for the first time.
The police pull up.
And just like in the true nature of Lana Winters, this makes her oh so determined. She's like, that bitch is not going to kick me out of this place. I'm going to get my story, and we'll find out later what happens. But so now we know we've got that duel going on now. Now we got the Lana Jude duel that is established.
Yes.
And I believe we right after this we meet Arden, right?
Well, you have to.
We find out she's talking to Lana that one of the patients died overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Arden is my one loophole problem-esque kind of with this season. What Arden is doing in this facility is, and what he's getting away with, kind of unrealistic, kind of outside the box. Like nobody sees what's going on with this man.
Well, yeah,
You know, nobody's because Jude, in a sense, is the administrative running facility.
We find out the Monsignor is protecting him,
Yeah,
so he can do whatever he wants, and that's why Jude goes to the Monsignor, which is the next scene where they have dinner.
But the problem with Arden that I have is
before they have dinner.
Well, the problem with Arden that I have is that this is a big building. There's no oversight. There's nobody watching you. Jude is supposed to have this overreaching administrative control, and yet Arden has secret rooms. And as somebody like a Jude,
but you know what that is? It's like, again, it goes back to the Monsignor, because Jude doesn't question the Monsignor because she's in love with him. So if he says it's okay, she kind of just goes with it, even though she doesn't agree with it. But then she finally wants to know what's happening.
Right.
I just don't see Jude allowing secret rooms. Even if she told the Monsignor that she's okay with it, I think, now we know she's not okay with it, and she goes looking for that. I just don't know with a Jude under her watch that secret rooms would ever existed under her watch. That's where I just have the disconnect.
Well, because she's talking to him in that room, and he's like disinfecting it, and he's doing all that stuff. There was something. He had something in that room, and he was trying to cover his tracks for whatever reason at that time.
And that's the other problem I have. I just thought of it with Arden when they're in that room. There's a scene. There's a close up of Arden right after that room, which is so uncinematic that for the rest of the season, it's weird. Go back and watch it if you don't know what I'm talking about. When Jude and Arden are leaving the room that they were disinfecting, there's this real pan close up on Arden, and he looks like one of those old cartoon villains.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's like, oh God. Yeah. I've always just maybe it's just the character. Arden just is both. And
there's part of me that
but you're not supposed to like him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I love James Cromwell so much.
Yeah. Oh, he's fantastic.
He's an amazing actor for sure.
Well, this is where you got James Cromwell and Timothy, just clicking him.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Oh,
absolutely.
Timothy's not done.
Oh, I totally agree with Mary on that.
Yeah.
She said that Timothy Howard always knew Jude's crush on him and used it to his advantage. I totally agree with you. I think he did. I totally think he did. He knew it. He made her promises he knew he was never going to fulfill.
Yep.
Because even if everything wouldn't have happened the way it did, he wasn't taking her with him. He gave her promises so he could keep controlling her.
Exactly.
She was see that she's a narcissist. I mean,
to run a building like that is that enormity in size, the only one in that county like that, and to have the level of schizophrenia and violence that they have with those type of patients.
Yeah,
Timothy he took a back seat. He was a hands-off kind of approach guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he was obviously using Jude, because I worked in psych for many years, and that intensity on the floor when you're dealing with violence is it's off-putting. It's scary. You don't feel safe a lot of times. Yeah. So he obviously was just like, you do it, you do you, and he used her for that. We'll find out that whole thing.
So the scene after Jude talks to Arden, we go back to Lana. She's now in her house. We didn't talk
about what Jude talked to Arden about, though. This is where we first meet Arden, and Jude and Arden are talking about. We see the dynamic between the two of them. That Jude doesn't trust Arden, and Arden is hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, 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 very clear that he's hiding something. We don't quite know what yet, but they keep throwing out these lines as, you felt something living. They keep talking about something living, something, knocking all the figures over. So there's a mystery. They have just opened up a new mystery with Arden. Arden is hiding something. Jude is onto him. Arden knows Jude's onto him, and now we've got a second war with Jude. We had our first war with Lana and Jude. Now we've got our second war with Arden and Jude. Yeah, it's gonna be an ongoing theme.
So now we go back to Lana's house, and this is where we meet Wendy.
Right. And Lana and Wendy are sitting down and having a conversation.
Down, getting ready for dinner and doing all of that. And Lana's talking about the fact that she's calling Jude an old battle axe that isn't going to.
Right. She's telling her that she wants to go undercover and do this story.
And they're having a conversation.
Girlfriend is obviously, I trust you, you really want the story to, but think, she keeps reminding her, think, I'm a teacher, my students.
Yeah.
Think, and Lana's Lana. We get Lana Winters right here from the start.
Here and now.
Nothing's gonna stop her. Not even her relationship, not even her girlfriend's job, nothing. She's like, I have to do this for me. I have to succeed in this. She's like, all right, go knock yourself out.
But then she's like, well, how are you going to get in? That's the question. And then the next scene after that, we find out.
But first, we get the scene where they're kissing, they're getting ready to be intimate, and one of them is the girlfriend is incredibly conscious of the draperies being open and scared about that, which is a real fear. And Lana's just like, what?
Well, and like you said, the way she was saying, "Oh, I trust you," this and that. So it's kind of obvious they're girlfriends, but for those who didn't get it, because not everybody would necessarily. It's solidified right in your face as soon as she talks about closing the blinds. Like you realize they're people.
Yeah, and it's also solidified that in that time, it's a very difficult thing for people to go through.
Wrong thing, exactly. So we're discovering now about the time period, which most people know history, but we're learning now that interracial marriages are a big no-no. So obviously, gay marriage or gay relationships is a big no-no.
Yeah. Especially in this.
So we're learning, all of that. So that's all tied in, which was very true at the time. So that's all tied in as American Horror Story.
Right.
Exactly.
And basically the whole thing is she's asking her, well, so how are you going to get in? They have that whole scene. And then we go later on that night, she's on the grounds again of the asylum, but you also have.
When do we cut back to Sister Jude, though, before she goes to eat with the Monsignor?
It's soon. It's somewhere around here.
Right after that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we missed all of the.
What did we miss?
No, we didn't. I guess Kit and Jude.
No, we didn't miss anything.
Is it?
We didn't. Kit showed up in all this. We missed Kit coming in.
Yeah, we said that. That was when she kicked Lana out because Bloodyface was showing up, and that's when Lana said, "Oh, I'm really here for Bloodyface," because that's when she had come in and told her that the police were bringing her.
Okay, well, if you want your information, this is what this is. He's being brought here as.
We talked about it. We talked about Evan Peters, laying on the bed.
This was revealed that it was Evan Peters. That Bloodyface was Evan Peters. They're hiding his face. He's getting out of the car. You see the shoes. Everybody's standing on the grand staircase to watch this celebrity, come in. Oh, it's Bloodyface, and this guy, skinned women alive, and did all this stuff. And then the camera pans up, and it's Kit. And as an audience, for the first time, you're like, "What? Wait a minute, what's going on?" They're like, "Okay, now this is interesting." So whatever jumble scenes this is in, we're going to have a few scenes with Kit going through and kind of getting oriented to the ins and outs of Briarcliff. His meeting with Jude is the third war of Jude that is set up, is the war between Kit and Jude. Jude is convinced because the state told her that this is Bloodyface. The state told her that he did this to all these women. And so Jude is going to use that to her advantage because she's like, you may be crazy, you may be denying that you did these things, but I know you did. So I'm going to keep telling you that you did this to this women.
Only God can fix you, or something.
Yeah, he's like, she's like, you are going to repent for everything that you've done, even though
your time here will be served under my watch, doing the things that I want you to do. When number one is repenting.
So
and then Kit meets.
That's the whole Kit thing.
The Kit meets Rach, which is the another really strong, important relationship that will be developed for Kit throughout this whole season. Race is another inmate who is in another patient that we don't know.
Yeah,
don't really know what the truth is behind her whole backstory. Did she do it? Didn't she do it? You're led to believe at one point, yeah, absolutely she did. At another point, well, maybe she didn't. I don't know. But regardless of the fact, is they're kind of in similar situations to where they both feel that they're not crazy, that they don't deserve to be in that place, that they have a clear conscious mind to get out of there and to help each other out. And then of course there's the attraction that goes on with that.
Yeah.
So Grace is kind of the conduit to help us as viewers and help Kit get oriented to the facility.
Mm-hmm.
The music, that song has to play.
Yes.
Anytime anybody's in the day room.
Dominic is
yeah,
the song.
Yeah, don't turn it off. You learn the hard way. Grace said that. You get a real. The most realistic thing that I've seen in all of a sudden in this first episode is that day room scene. That day room scene is very, very real.
Yeah,
very.
I totally agree with you.
Any type of day rooms that you have where you have multiple high violence, high end schizophrenic behaviors. You see that. You see the head bashings on the wall. You see fights breaking out. You see real strange talking and behavior and screams and everything. Ryan Murphy got that down really, really beautiful.
Yes.
Now in modern day facilities, like the facility I worked at, was a little bit more of a hospital-esque type of feel, not like an asylum type thing. But you go in our day rooms or out in the smoke areas where the smoke, it's exactly that. That was exactly how it's played out. Except for patients don't wear bedclothes like that anymore in mental institutions. They completely stay clear of any type of hospital type. Nurses don't wear hospital uniforms. Orderlies don't wear hospital uniforms, and patients don't wear. They keep everybody in regular clothes. To keep normality for it. That's just different now. But that was real. So Ryan did a really good job.
They did a really good job with that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Kit dealing with, walking around going, I can't handle this. It's like,
what is going on? He's like, no. And so this is where you, at least at this moment, regardless of how you felt about him being bloody faced or him seeing aliens or who knows what, we're all confused.
No, but she'll be back.
At this point, he does not believe he's done these things.
Right.
Sorry.
In his mind that he's
okay.
not doing it.
If I get a phone call for some reason, even when the phone call if it goes away, all of a sudden the audio is like muted, like it's uber quiet.
Yeah.
And so I have to leave and come back in, or I can't hear you guys. So my bad.
The interesting thing about Kit and how they're developing his character in this is really what the season is about. This isn't about mental illness. You've got multiple sides of mental illness, but the two big sides of mental illness you have is what the patient or non-patient, what the patient thinks in their own head. Because everything, mentally ill or not, you think in your own head, that's what you believe your truth is.
Mm-hmm.
And schizophrenics who see these grand delusions and stuff, they believe that to be true for themselves. And like if in Kit's scenario, he's innocent. And yet everybody has told him he's done these things. Everybody around him is convinced that he's done these things. And he's the only one that in his own mind is thinking, So with mental illness in the way the world works is you can make somebody crazy. If you want to make somebody crazy. The system can make somebody crazy. And they never go crazy.
You can drive somebody crazy. You can make them crazy.
Yeah, you can present them crazy. And you have enough people backing you up. You present somebody crazy. You get somebody on a 5150, which is a psych eval, and doctors, you can be locked up.
Right.
And it goes to show this the level of the lack of care that we as a society
they don't do it as much as they used to, but they still do that. They do.
Oh yeah. Oh absolutely. Multiple times. Well, the problem nowadays is even worse than that. Problem nowadays is there's no beds, there's no facilities. There, very few states have actual money set aside for mental illness or for long-term schizophrenic. So schizophrenic and violent mentally ill patients, not criminals, but mentally ill patients, they're in prisons, they're out in home cares, they're out homeless. So they're not getting the proper treatment that they need.
Right. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Leo and Teresa, because we do go back. We go back and forth with them.
Yeah. We go back to Leo and Teresa.
We go back because of the death.
We get his arm.
Because
we haven't done his arm yet.
To him, we have to go back.
The death shoot.
Yeah, they were talking about that. They were going down the hall, and they ended up hearing a noise. Because they're about ready to get busy. Let's just say, and then
They hear the noise and she makes him stop. He doesn't want to
She
stop.
wants to know what it is, so they go and check it out, and he's like, well, maybe it's just, maybe it's just old pipes that's making.
Wasn't that in the beginning?
No, it's like halfway through. So they end up outside this, what used to be one of the rooms that the patients were in.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's where you see the flash.
Yeah, and he sticks his arm in there and freaks her out.
And
then she yells at him and does all that, and then he asks for her phone so he can take a picture, and that's when he gets his arm ripped off.
Right.
Which in any other TV show.
Well, it's funny. Wait. Let me point out. It's funny, that scene, because he puts his arm in, again to mess with her, and something grabs his arm and yanks him. She comes over to him to see what's up. He straight pushes her. He's like, "Get away from me."
I know. It's like,
I was like, whoa, dude, you turned into a different person all of a sudden. And then bang, rip, it came right off.
Right off.
And any other show, any other season, that could have been the end. We started with them, we end with them. Yeah. We've met all of our characters. We've established the place. There we go. There's your pilot.
No, that was
halfway through the first episode.
Yeah. So he's laying there and he's basically bleeding out at this point. And she goes off running back to the car to get his phone. So the rest of the time we see her running through the corridors trying to.
Yeah, and that's where she gets into the death shoes and they correlate with Lana in the death shoes. But Lana hasn't gone back yet. So.
But now, after that, we have Lana going back at night. Yep. And this is where she runs into Sister Mary.
What is this bitch thinking? I'm sorry. It's like, and I know these girls do. You're gonna go to a potentially violent facility where they have locked, violent, mentally ill patients in the middle
where she's already been, so she's seen it.
To try and break in.
She wants her story, and she's gonna get it. It doesn't matter.
No matter how she has to. Yeah.
Well, she got her comeuppance.
She got her comeuppance on that because hello.
But she got more than deserved.
Yeah. So she tricks Sister Mary Eunice into getting her into the facility by taking her. They go underneath into the chute, and I remember the scene where she's like, "How do you know about this? This is my secret. This is my secret way from the woods, or to the woods from what?" And that's how she gets into the facility, and then she starts looking around. And then we have Spivey. He's the one who's throwing stuff at Mary Eunice and freaks her out. So she
Mark Consuelos, for those of you who did not recognize him.
Mark Consuelos, yeah.
Kelly Ripa's husband, for those of you who don't know.
But
he's also an actor.
This is a very, very interesting scene, because not only is that behavior accurate in behaviors in prisons and mental institutions, but the fact that Eunice leaves her is one of the biggest cardinal absolute sins that you can do in a locked facility. Is if you have somebody on your locked ward with potentially dangerous violent who are not trained to interact with potentially
and regardless, the reason she left her right there is all the answer you need for why she shouldn't have left her.
Exactly. They just goes to show you that it's like, as a provider or as a worker, you can't do that. You can't even process that. Whatever goes on, and it happens.
Yeah,
all the time.
And then you have Sister Jude walking around doing her walkthrough to check on all the patients, and Lana
because we find out she's checking on them because she's leaving for the evening or going, going to be busy.
And Lana's hiding in one of the rooms to get away from her so she doesn't see her. And somehow Lana gets attacked. And
only somebody on the word.
Lana gets attacked, and then the next time we see Lana, she's in the bed with like the brace and all that stuff on her head.
You guys have skipped so much.
Well, then go back.
What about when she got attacked? What about when she saw Sister Mary Eunice? It's because we forgot the Raspers.
Oh, we did. We forgot the Raspers.
Oh, did we?
And what about Sister Jude getting ready for her date?
Did that happen yet?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the date's important. This we get a huge, big insight. Well, we didn't talk about Sister Jude in the very, very beginning. The first time we see Jude, isn't it, with the red nightgown?
That's where she's.
No, it's not the first time we see her. No. But this is when we see her now. We see her in her bedroom for the evening, changing clothes, and she put
lingerie and the perfume and.
Yeah, and we realize that symbolically, she has this inner self that she's always needing to carry with her, and it's a very powerful visual about.
There's the visual right there.
Exactly. We learned so much from this character in just that one visual than any story or dialogue could tell us.
Mm-hmm.
It's that she's another person underneath the habit. She's another person. And she's got different intentions underneath the habit.
Yep.
And so she has her evening dinner with Timothy, and this is where we find out.
The Monsignor. We gotta say it because I can actually say it, so I like saying it.
Yeah, we got our fourth war, and it's a different kind of war, but these two are at odds because Sister Jude's obviously in love with him. She's got a crush on him. Timothy's obviously manipulating her in the situation. Timothy obviously is trying to convince her that they're on the same vision, and they're not. So they're definitely at odds. Jude may not think they're at odds, but they are. And Timothy's got much different.
Wait. Okay. Hold up. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut everybody off. So wait a second. Debbie said Spivey the tosser, and she says Sister Mary Eunice has sex with Spivey in a deleted scene.
After possession?
Probably. I would assume it's after possession, but yeah.
Wow.
I should have done that for Murder House.
We should, yeah.
Maybe we'll do that during awards.
Yeah, and you know what? I got 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, so I know you probably have them all, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So do I. I have them all too.
Okay, so see, it works out.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I ordered 3 and 4, and the guy never sent them to me, and I never got my money back. So the company finally refunded me. But yeah,
Blu-rays only go to
season.
No, not
Cult.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Cult.
No, I got a Blu-ray of Apocalypse. I got a Blu-ray of Apocalypse, but I have
to UK. They stopped making American Blu-rays of FX shows after Roanoke.
Yeah.
Cult and Apocalypse in 1984, you have to get from a different country.
Mm-hmm. I have to order it from the UK when
if shipping would resume from the UK.
Yeah.
I'm worried about that too, because if shipping doesn't resume from the UK, then back to DVDs we go. For me, I don't care. I don't care if it's DVD or Blu-ray. What I care is my set matches. My OCD cannot handle one DVD that's out of sync with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's nuts.
Mm-hmm. So we have all of these dynamics going on, and this is all in the first episode. So there's a lot that they put in with just one episode, because we've got the dynamics with all of the characters, and everything revolves around Sister Jude.
You look like Peg Bundy, just blonde.
Yep. Sister Jude has got all of her different wars set up. So we got 4 wars of Jude now, and then a bunch of little mini ones. But now we've got 2 people that our 2 leads actually are sharing a common story now, because we've got Lana, who's now trapped at Briarcliff under false pretenses, and we have Kit, who's trapped at Briarcliff under false pretenses. And both of them are each going through their psych eval a little bit differently. We've got Lana being tortured by Jude, through her deviant behavior and how her girlfriend betrayed her, and I win this war, blah 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 blah. Lana, you're never gonna screw with me again because I already put a stop to it. That kind of shit. And then you've got Kit, who's being dissected by Dr. Arden because Dr. Arden wants to get into the mind of Bloodyface and figure out what makes this serial killer tick. And a
Dr. Arden's psycho.
out of his head.
Well, Dr. Arden is psycho because he ends up doing procedures on Kit without any anesthetic, basically saying, I'm really glad that I don't sedate you.
Yeah, he chooses sadistically to not sedate him.
Yeah, it messes with my readings, so we're not going to do that.
Yeah, that's again. This whole Arden character bothers me. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't work for me. That's just me.
So yeah, there's a lot of messed up people.
Well, it's just the blatantly of him just not following basic principles and guidelines of normality. That's my problem. Being in the industry for so long, it's like I can't get my brain outside of that would never happen. Kind of thing. It's like no, it is kind of. So that's why I see him a little bit more cartoony than the rest of them.
Well, because even in this first episode, we discover that he's actually experimenting on the patients.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jude, when Jude and Arden had their first conversation, that was one of the things that they talked about. Is they said that the patient that died, where'd all these bodies go? Where are these dead patients at?
Yeah, she actually said, I find it very interesting that since you got here, all of the patients that have died don't have families, no one to grieve for.
Yeah, they're homeless or transient, don't have families.
Yep. And that's when we learned about the furnace too. There's a furnace that plays a character in the whole thing. The incinerator thing.
And that's and this is where the Raspers come from because of the fact that he's experimenting.
Yeah, they're the dead patients.
On these people, and that's why there's no bodies.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because this is twice now, the 2 seasons back to back, and then we will see it again in Coven. This whole Frankenstein complex.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he continued to use it. I think we saw it in 1984. No.
No.
I remember. But yeah, this whole creating something out of the dead. Ryan's got a fascination with it, or somebody does. Somebody on the production team. Very interesting.
Let's see. Have we covered all of this?
Well, you got Kit. You got the alien thing that come out of his head. You see more flashes of Alma in there, saying, "Kit, help me!" Blah 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 blah. And so now, I think the writers are trying to tell us to get on board with the alien shit because it's real. And so we're left with that. What is the final? Oh, the final scene is we go back to Leo and stupid bitch running around screaming, crying, help me, and then we get a glimpse of Bloodyface. Bloodyface shows up.
Glimpse of what we think Bloodyface, but Bloodyface Jr. mask, and the last thing you see her screaming, and then it goes to black.
And what we're led to believe at this moment in time as an audience was that this place is haunted, and it was haunted by an old serial killer, Bloodyface, back in the day. Well, they said 40-something thousand people died in that facility. I wrote it down. They said in 1921 is tuberculosis ward, and then 46,000 people died in that facility. So we're led to believe the facility is extremely haunted. And then when they talk about Bloodyface, that was obviously back in the 60s. So when we see Bloodyface, we don't know yet that this is the son. We don't know yet that this is imposters or copycats. We're kind of led to believe that this is a haunting of an old serial killer.
Right.
Debbie pointed out that the scene with Mary Eunice and Spivey, she said, yes, it was after the possession. And there was also supposed to be a scene where Jude imagines having sex with Monsignor. And she said she can't remember if it was filmed or not, though.
I bet you it was right there, that first scene. Because she goes into that trance when they're at the dinner table where you see her reality in her head or her.
Well, yeah, she's fantasizing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you see the reality of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
That Timothy has got no thought of that same thought that she has.
Right.
Which oh my God, I love the finds. Ugh. They could be in every season of anything, in every movie and anything. Either one of them,
Right.
Ralph or Joseph. It's like they're brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he is an amazing actor.
I don't like his character in The Handmaid's Tale. I just want to strangle him. It's just
very Timothy almost. It's very Timothy.
I don't think you're supposed to like him though. Just like here, you don't even really like him. You start kind of second guessing him and you're suspicious about him, and then all of a sudden you don't like him anymore.
Yeah.
Who, Timothy?
Yep.
Timothy, basically, Timothy. I don't look at him as a hated character. He's just weak. He's just he's an opportunist. As far as Handmaid's Tale, characters in Handmaid's Tale, it's just gross.
Yeah.
I can't watch that show because it's too depressing. I watched the first season.
That is officially the first episode of Asylum.
So it feels like we've already been here a week. It's crazy how much
it does. It really does, though. No, it really does. Like there does. And right then and there, you guys, you're like, holy shit! Wow. What's the rest of the season going to be like? This is the first fucking episode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then you're double checking. You're like, wait, is it only going to be like a 6-7 episode thing? You know, there's so much crammed in. I'm like, is it over?
And this is a long season. This is 13 episodes.
And surprisingly, they only go off on really one crazy tangent that doesn't have anything to do with the season. And that's Anne Frank. I'm gonna be absent that day.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Because you want to do
it. Come on.
People are gonna be like, "Oh God, I'm not tuning into the Anne Frank episode. All he's gonna do is sit there and bitch about it." It's just so stupid. God, such a mess. But I know people love it, so I'll give you guys a chance to speak your mind if you love it.
I didn't say that. I just want to be there when you're actually ranting about it.
It was the first dump the truck moment of American Horror Story, and then like every season afterwards had that. Murder House didn't really have it, but Asylum, that was the first dump the truck moment.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Who wrote that?
Who wrote what?
Did we pick a line of the episode?
I had one. Don't forget. Oh, I had one. I should have wrote it down.
Debbie put a link in the chat. She said it's supposed to be a clip from her going to have sex with Spivey in the woods with the Raspers.
Oh, they had in the woods with the Raspers?
Yeah, it's a clip. I can't click on it from here though. It won't let me.
Wait, let me
that
see.
Sucks. She said, "Ew." I'm right there with you, Debbie.
Just the thought of that. It's like, no thanks.
Well, wait. Her having sex with Spivey is ill, or the Raspers are ill? Because the Raspers are ill, but I don't know. Spivey, no. Mark Consuelos, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Well, I'll watch it.
Oh my God, girl. When I was probably 12, 13 years old, I would watch soap operas with my mom all the time. So, I knew who he was. I had pictures that I had gotten out of the newspaper because he had come to our town for some convention, and there was a big picture of him, and I had it. I posted it on poster board and I decorated around it and I hid it in my closet. I don't know why I hid it in my closet to the day. I couldn't tell you, but I did.
Is it Young and the Restless?
No. General Hospital.
No.
General Hospital. Oh, no. It's All My Children. Sorry.
Who?
All My Children. All My Children.
Oh, okay. See, I grew up with the English ones, EastEnders. I watched nighttime soaps. Dallas Dynasty. Ooh,
I have all the ones on Channel 7 were the ones that I always.
Dallas was my shit. I own every single season.
Me too, Don. Me too. Because that's what I would watch them with my mom if I stayed home from school or if we didn't have school that day or something. My mom, that was the only thing on because my mom was watching her shows. So you either watched it or you did something else, and there wasn't a whole lot else to do sometimes. So I just watched it, and then I got into it, and then she got me into watching like the Monday night ABC movie. And it wasn't a family movie. It was like those docudramas, basically what like Lifetime Network and Hallmark Channel are their movies.
And you remember you'd have stars like Candace Cameron would come in, and it'd be about like teen abuse, like a boyfriend abuse with a teen or something. And and so my mom would let me stay up on Monday nights and watch those, and I got into those. But I don't watch that shit anymore. I really don't.
Dynasty. It's all about Dallas and Dynasty.
Yep.
Love Dallas. What was I gonna say? Oh, if we do a watch along, we should do Soap Dish.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
All right, Mike,
I haven't watched it in a long time.
What is your wand for the day? Do you have your wand?
I got paint all on my hands. I've been painting. Where'd it go? I had it out earlier. Oh, it's in my hands. You can't see.
You're a mess. Look at you.
No, I've been painting. So I'm back to my. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, we can only. Okay.
That's never gonna work. Okay. Okay.
There you go.
So I hate this camera. I hate being in the middle. I'm not gonna be in the middle no more because I can't figure it out. Okay. So this one kind of looks like Sirius's, but it's not. This is the wand of Sybil Trelawney. Sybil Trelawney is the astrology teacher who does all the foresight and everything. And the reason why I picked this one is because nobody believes her. Everybody thinks she's crazy, but she's not. She really can foresee the future, and only Harry believes in her. And there you go, Asylum.
Ta-da!
Okay. Fitting for today.
Yep.
Another Ravenclaw, mind you.
Nice.
Yep. All the oddballs are Ravenclaws.
And by the way, we're not playing favorites with Ravenclaw just because.
Yeah, we are. Talking to King Ravenclaw himself.
All right, so we just wanted to thank everybody for coming out today. We hope we were able to distract you guys for an hour. And
it's been longer than that, hasn't it?
And it's been a little longer than that, but we're good.
Yep.
And we're
making up for being late. We're making up for being late.
Yep.
Tomorrow's episode 2. We are taking a break on Wednesdays. This is a heavy season. There's a lot to cover. Wednesdays we will be doing something special. We'll announce it on Wednesday.
And do not forget, everybody be here, share the link. We have a special announcement tomorrow that is AHS involved. We have breaking AHS news.
What?
That will be that'll be happening on Wednesday when we do the announcement.
Yeah. Didn't I say Wednesday?
No, you said Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Tomorrow we're doing
tomorrow
we're doing episode 2, and then Wednesday we'll do the announcement.
Correct.
Yes. So everybody have a great day and enjoy the rest of your day. And we will see everybody tomorrow. Same time, same channel.
Same place, same face. And
we're out.
No, we're not.